Well, new at 10, planning for a financial future is top of mind for many consumers, and experts say financial stability is possible regardless of retirement benefits.
WGEM's Zeke Shapiro spoke with a local financial expert who explains how you can shape those goals and live more independently. Zeke?
When you get your paycheck, the government takes some of that money and puts it into Social Security. However, for those who are solely relying on that money later in life, a local financial expert says it might be best to start looking at more options. Recent reports from the trustees of Social Security suggest Social Security trust funds will be depleted by 2035. Quincy financial advisor Craig Sherrington believes waiting for your Social Security benefits might not be such a good idea.
The government's not going to be able to take care of you the way they have people in the past.
Sherrington explained the best option for crafting financial independence is learning how to manage money.
They need to start counting on themselves, their own savings plan.
He said he has attempted to reach out to the Quincy public school system to help them get a financial literacy plan moving.
I haven't seen any significant increase in that plan at this level, and I would hope that it would start sometime soon.
In the meantime, he hopes to bring as much attention to planning for one's financial future as possible, starting with the families of his older clients.
I offer to meet with those children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and just have a one-on-one meeting with them about investing.
In the technical age, Sherrington says there are more resources than ever to become financially literate.
Whether it be online or with someone, anything they do is going to be an advantage.
So while the outlook on retirement benefits is mixed, according to Sherrington, he says for younger people, it's never a mistake to start planning early.
And they need to be more involved with planning for retirement, saving for retirement, and becoming a little bit responsible on their own.
In a 2025 financial literacy study of over 3,000 American adults by the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center, the subjects only got 49% of the financial literacy questions correct, so plenty to work on. Daniel?
Thank you, Zeke. And the Social Security program will turn 90 years old on August 14th.